Well, we split the series in Arlington. The South Oklahoma Rangers fall in a game where they should have no-hit the Astros, but it was a Paredes party today. Let's talk about it on this edition of Locked On Astros.
Yainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on X at Eric Talk Stros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can I find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok, and that's actually H-Town_Wheelhouse on Instagram because of identity theft. It's a serious crime, and I digress. Also at Stros411 on Facebook, on Instagram, and on X. Look, man, you know where to find me. Always positive, always Stros.
Hey, guys, thank you for making us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Go ahead and check us out. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. So, Brett, this was a series that was a little bit frustrating. You thought that you would maybe get a couple of wins from the Rangers. You did. It looked like the Astros were going to get no hit today, but you had Yainer Diaz, not Yainer Diaz, but Yainer Diaz get a home run to break up the no-hitter. You also had Isaac Paredes do what he does, hit a home run in the Crawford. Wait, they don't have the Crawford boxes over there. This is actually his first home run he hit outside of Diken Park this year. Almost said Minute Park. But that was impressive. But what the Astros did was they took a series. They split a series with a division rival. This is going to be big. This is better than losing the series. We'll talk about that later. But right now, I want to talk about, I know everybody, we'll talk about Hayden Wesneski later, but everybody talks about how the Kyle Tucker trade, it was terrible. And look, the fact that what's going on with Wesneski, this is the outcome. But Isaac Paredes, we don't know what's going to happen in Cam Smith, but Isaac Paredes so far has been the best part of that deal.
Yeah, definitely. So coming into today's game, Eric, Isaac Paredes was 333, 13 for 39, 15 RBI with a 922 OPS. Him and actually Yordan Alvarez, who has not played, and we'll talk a little bit about him later, with runners in scoring position. But the Astros, as a team, rank tied for third in the AL in OPS with runners in scoring position. So am I saying it's all good? No, but I'm also saying it's not all bad either. The thing you have to understand is Isaac Paredes stepped into an organization in a clubhouse where no matter what he did, he wouldn't be the next Alex Bregman. He just has to come in and do what he's done in the past. And what has he done in the past? He's hit. He's a poolside hitter. He can hit the long ball, and he's got a solid glove. Isaac Paredes has done his job. He got put in the leadoff spot. Joe Espada said, look, Isaac, I'm going to put you in the leadoff spot. You're going to come up in some big moments in the game. I just need you to go out there and perform. He's fine with that. He showed his big-time stuff and his big clutch stuff when he got his first career walk-off hit there at Diken Park. And so the Houston Astros, I think, did a good job getting Isaac Paredes. Could we have gotten, Suarez, who is now in Arizona hitting the cover off the ball? Yeah, we could have got him, but there's no guarantee of how he would have performed here. And so this home run today by Paredes was phenomenal. And it was started, and the leakage started whenever Yainer hit the home run. Finally got David Raymond to actually say his name right. But, dude, Jack Leiter has been a top pitching prospect for the Rangers for a while, right. And it was really good to see the Astros finally break through that. I mean, this rookie, his dad, I think, back in, I don't know how long ago it was, but it was almost this. It was like May 11th, Al Leiter 20 or 30 years ago. He threw a no-hitter like in the same week, back in the 90s. this kid's a very good pitcher. The Astros came against some very good pitching, and to take 2 of 4 from the Rangers, I think I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad day at the office.
Yeah, I hope that wasn't a slip of tongue there. His name is actually Dave Raymond, but you said David, but that was classic because he kept on messing up Yainer's name. But to go back,
I call him David out of respect.
For right now, I'm not going to make any official announcements, but right now I'm a teacher. Once everything becomes official, I'll go and tell y'all what my next step in my career is. But I gave you an assignment before the show. I asked you how many wins have the Astros gotten when Paredes has hit a home run. What was your answer?
Well, so he has 7 home runs now, correct? Mm-hmm. When he hits a home run, they are 6-1 when Isaac Paredes hits a home run. And so when he goes long, the Astros typically follow suit with a victory. So that's a good thing. You want that. And I know it's not 13 or 14 home runs, but 7 home runs and now leads the team. And he's getting the job done.
Yeah, the fact that they did it against the division rival, like you said, the team is pitching well, the Rangers are. But the offense, there's still some signs that they need to be fixed. But Paredes, for the most part, has been pretty consistent throughout the year. The home runs have come recently. I believe you said that 3 of the home runs have been in May. So he's had majority of his home runs in May. Then he had some in April, maybe 4 in April. So there's still a lot of month in May. So he maybe could finish with 5 or 6 home runs in May. But this is a guy that the Astros saw something that, I mean, of course the Cubs saw something, but he didn't live up to expectations with the Cubs. But what the Astros saw is the fact that he can hit home runs to left field, to left center field. And Langford almost robbed it. It was closer than it looked. But the fact that he's doing it in these clutch situations, you might see a lot of these as game tires, go-ahead home runs. But, Brett, they had 4 hits today. 2 of those hits were home runs. The Astros had no business winning this game, especially the fact that it was a no-hitter and into the 6th inning. But Yainer Diaz took care of business. But the big hit was Paredes. Paredes was a great addition. This is somebody the Astros chased last year. He went to the Cubs. And you know that Dana Brown, once they heard that he was available, I think he was always a key piece to that Kyle Tucker trade.
Right. Now, I would say this, Eric. I would counter you a little bit in that I do think the Astros did deserve to win this game and had business winning this game because of who they had on the mound opposing the Astros, right? Framber Valdez went out there and actually dealt. Framber Valdez was phenomenal today. 7 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts. He got the win. He's now 3-4. This guy just keeps going out there doing things on the mound that not a whole lot of people can do. And it looked like both pitchers were victim of the strike zone or the lack of strike zone or the horrible calling, so much so that Joe Espada, when Isaac Paredes struck out, got thrown out of the game. And
remember early in the career, that was the biggest knock against Joe Espada. They said, wait, when is this guy going to fight for his team? And when he's going to get thrown out? And remember last year, I would say, oh, shucks. That wasn't a strike. I remember last year, but This is actually his 6th time he's been thrown out. This is the first time that he's been thrown out this year. But this goes back to yesterday's game where he was arguing with the umpires. I was surprised he wasn't tossed yesterday, but the pitch that Paredes was called out on, was it Paredes? But it was way out of strike zone. It was, I believe it was a slider or a breaking pitch, but it was way below the plate. And Joe Espada just had enough. And Brett, sometimes you see something that's wrong and you have to say something. You have to just put your mind behind it. And I'm not saying it kind of led the team to come back to win, but sometimes when you see your manager fight for you, it does help lead that cause. So We'll go and continue this discussion. Thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day.
Are you looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Will crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to keep you feeling fuller longer. I know that I love the kind with the shell on. You may like the shell off. If you're sitting at your desk, if you just want a quick protein snack or you're on the road, you can go with the shell or shell in or shell off version. It doesn't matter. Plus, it not only is this a complete protein source, but it also provides all 9 essential amino acids. Again, whether you're running to meetings, whether you're dropping off the kids, Wonderful Pistachios are the snack that works just as hard as you do. So get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Make this first listen Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, soon to be Roku TV, where you watch the game today. And that was a very interesting experience, Brett. I don't know what you thought about the broadcast. I know it was Dave Raymond and also Jeff Blum, who did a great job. I didn't see anything weird. I did have to sign in to my Roku device, my account on my TV to watch it while I was doing a little bit of laundry, cleaning up the room a little bit. But it was not a bad experience. But this is like third time in what this past 4 games that the Astros have been the lone game streaming on a different service. So this is the times we live in. You're going to have soon to be gone or like I'm not saying that what is it called? Space Network?
Space City Home Network.
Yeah, Space City Home Network is going to totally go away, but you're going to see a lot more games being streamed elsewhere. And I think what you'll see is Space City Home Network have to get an app and maybe try to do what everybody else is doing because I think they're going to have to meet with the times. But right now, the Astros are 24-22. It seems like they win 1, lose 1, win 2, lose 2. So right now, they're 2 games above 500 right now. They're back in second place. The only thing that's good right now, Brett, is the fact that they are in the AL West. The Mariners are 25-19 with a 568 OPS. They have a positive 18 run differential. The Astros have a plus 20. The Astros still have a chance to get a hold of the AL West.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this division is not won on May 18th, period, in this story. The Mariners love teasing us with their really awesome play early on, and Kyle Riley's actually playing like an MVP right now. So you got to give dibs and you got to give credit where credit is due. They are dealing with 3 solid pitching injuries. But I want to speak a second on David Raymond, who I think is one of the worst announcers in all of Major League Baseball. Not only is his voice terribly monotone, but his bias against Houston comes out in a horrible, horrible way every time the Astros are playing in Arlington. And he even called Dyken Park, he called it Globe Life South. Now, the second you attach your stadium that looks like a Tough Shed Stadium or a Home Depot store, and you start making it out, no, it doesn't work like that, David Raymond III. It doesn't. It's like, it was really bad. You kept saying Yainer Diaz when it was Yainer Diaz. Okay. And look, the only problem I have, and Eric, you can bring yourself back up. The only problem I have with these dual broadcast with the visiting and home guy coming together is there's typically not a ton of chemistry. I mean, how do you expect guys that don't really spend a lot of time together? Like you know what TK and Blummer are. You either love them or you don't. And I think there's more people that like them than don't like them, okay? But they have a chemistry. There was no chemistry. You know, Raymond, to his credit, did reference a lot of really cool Jeff Blum, like history with the Astros. I thought that was unique. But yeah, I'm I'm glad if for any other reason, I'm glad I'm not a Rangers fan because I could not listen to this guy. I remember when he used to call Astros games, it wasn't much better, but he has a chip on his shoulder towards Houston. And I'm sorry, I had to say that. But to get back on track, the Houston Astros winning the West is really a realistic goal this year. I will be shocked if the Mariners stay this hot and stay on top for the entire season. Now, a blind squirrel gets a nut every once in a while. You know, the Rangers had that lucky season where they beat us. They went on to beat, and they were the 2023 World Series champions. Congrats to them for that. And maybe this is the Mariners' year, but I just have a hard time believing that that's what's going to happen. That's why the Astros have to focus on one win at a time, not the long road ahead, not the playoffs. Who's going to be on your playoff rotation? That's foolish talk. Right now, we got to figure out who's going to take Wisniewski's spot. Is it going to be Colton Gordon? Is it going to be Ryan Gusto? Who is going to step up in that spot? Are the Astros at some point going to add another bat? There's Chris Taylor's name is floating around. I think he's buns right now personally, but he is a guy that can provide pop and power from a different perspective. What are the Astros going to do to sustain themselves? And what the heck is going on with Yordan Alvarez? Donde está to Yordan Alvarez? Right?
Well, we'll talk about that in a second. But Brett Chancey, I really appreciate your opinion there.
Did you mispronounce my name?
No, Brett. I said it right.
Are you trying to be Raymond?
Yeah, I'm just having a little fun there.
Gosh.
Thank you, Brett. So moving on, the Astros will be playing, now that they face their division rivals, they're going to be playing. Come on. They'll be playing a different type of rivals. For those of y'all that are not watching the live video, he muted me while I was talking. So they'll be playing the Rays. The Rays have been a issue for the Astros over the years. So this is a situation that they're not a good team. They're not the same team that they've been. They sold a lot of different players over the years. So this is a very winnable series. But I know nobody really cares about the silver boot, but this year, the way that the Astros have been playing, the Rangers have been playing, any win you get against AL West competition is big. And winning this series was a lot better than losing 3 out of 4 games. And when Yainer Diaz hit that home run to break up the no-hitter, I had a good feeling that something was going to happen. But I thought it was going to be, well, they had 3 hits. Well, somebody's going to hit a home run right here. But
Exactly.
was that guy. And sometimes you need that big time production when you're missing guys like Alvarez and you're missing guys like Altuve. Wait, he's still in the lineup, but he is not Altuve. And he had talked about those struggles. Do you remember what was said about those struggles?
No, not in particular.
Okay. I have. So he said that I think if you're doing something wrong mechanically, it's going to make you not see the ball good and end up chasing some things. So it's kind of like a combination. But I just need a few hits, a few hard hit balls, and I think we'll be good. And he said his swings recently have not been good, and I think I'm going to figure it out, come in here. I've been working on my swing, but I think eventually I'm going to get some hits and I'll be good. This is a guy that we shouldn't worry about. I think he's going to eventually figure things out, but he's already working on things. But the guy I'm worried about is what's going on with Alvarez and what's going on with Hayden Wesneski. We'll talk about that next.
The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances like Tyrese Halliburton's clutch three-pointer or Draymond Green's incessant complaining every time the ref blows a whistle and doesn't call him for a tech. But it doesn't matter because there's player props on winning shots, on breakout players, and so much more. Same-game parlays, performance trends, player props, from tip-off to the very end, you are covered, and you can win big. Why wouldn't you want to win $200 on your first $5 bet if that wins? I know I would. I love FanDuel. It's easy to use. It's there for the biggest moments. So right now, new to FanDuel, that is perfect because you can sign up. Head there right now, FanDuel.com, and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Go make this first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, go and check us out. My name is Eric Huysman. He is Brett Chancey, and we thank you for becoming part of our everyday listens and people that have become part of Locked On Astros Nation. So we appreciate each and every one of y'all. So I think the big question right now is what's going on with Yordan Alvarez. I know all week we've heard, well, he's getting better. He's getting close. And then we get some news today that maybe not quite the same. So I know that we thought that maybe a reset would help. Maybe some time off would help him get his swing back. But I don't know if you have the quote in front of you, but what do you think about what Espada said today?
Oh, it just seems like he's hurt a lot more than they let on. I mean, they're like, oh, a couple days rest. Oh, he pulled a muscle. I don't know. Like you never know with this club because they don't look, they're not honest. They just don't tell you what's happening. They don't tell you honestly what's going on. What they should have said is he does qualify for a 15-day IL stint, but we're hoping that he can be ready before that. But we don't anticipate him to being ready before that is what they should have done. Apparently this is a hand issue this is a reoccurring thing with him. So it's definitely not a good look for him. I know he wants to be out on the field helping the team. He has been hitting in the cage, but apparently the pain is still there. And so, at the end of the day, like your guess is as good as mine, Eric, with Yordan Alvarez. When will he be back? I don't know. I thought he'd be back by the Rangers series. Now he may not be back until the Astros get back in town against the Mariners. And even then, if he's back, I mean, how effective is he going to be? And so that is definitely something to be thinking about. And here in a second, I want to give updates on Whitley and some others that are on the IL as well.
Okay. So the exact quote today was, I just want to make sure that it completely goes away. We don't want to go back to where he feels something again, and we have to restart the process again. It's there, but every day it feels better. So there's still something there that's nagging him. There's still something there that's preventing him from really taking batting practice on the field. He's still doing it in the cages, but they don't feel like he's comfortable or ready to take batting practice against 90-plus mile per hour fastballs, breaking pitches, stuff that's going to maybe agitate whatever's going on with his hand. So this is a situation where they're trying to be cautious. The Astros desperately need that left-handed bat in the lineup, especially like we saw with DeGrom on the mound. It would have helped to have a left-handed bat against them to kind of maybe just offer a different look. But same thing with Leiter today. I think the Astros just need a left-handed hitter, not just some average Joe. You need a quality left-hander. Like last year, you had two guys with Kyle Tucker and Alvarez when they're both healthy. Now you just don't have that presence anymore. And even when John Singleton, like I've mentioned, when he was doing well, you had that. You had Ben Gamble, who I believe was a switch hitter. So you had some options last year. But this year, you just don't have that left-handed presence. And that's what you're missing with him. You're missing that, oh, crap, Alvarez is on deck. What is he going to do? Is he get a home run? And so I think that the more time he stays down, more likely he's going to have to go on a rehab stint. And more likely he's going to go down to AAA and maybe see some pitches, figure out what's wrong with this swing. I think that this is actually a good thing. Maybe not for the Astros right now, but down the road, you got to look past today. You got to look towards tomorrow.
Yeah. So the official IL or the official injury is right hand muscle strain. Okay. 10-day IL retroactive to May 3rd. Is expected to return late May. So that right there would give you, and it just says status. He continues to hit soft tossing off the tee in the batting cage, but the Astros are taking it slow with the slugger. Forrest Whitley is actually throwing some of his hardest pitches right now. He threw a 1-2-3 inning, striking out a pair of batters while hitting 98.2 in the minor league rehab outing on May 17th, AAA Sugarland. He will be activated soon. So there's the update on Whitley. We heard about Wisniewski earlier. Bryce Matthews is actually out on a 7-day concussion IL.
We haven't talked about Wisniewski yet, but we'll talk about that.
Okay, hold on a second. Spitz Arrighetti still out, 15-day IL retroactive, April 7th. There's nothing determining when he'll come back. Luis Garcia, there's no timetable. And someone asked about JP France. Basically, he underwent shoulder surgery last July. But the recovery time is 12 to 14 months. So we wouldn't even see him until August or September if he was able to pitch this year at all. So those are the guys that we have going on. Mr. Rashad talks about how we're in the hospital right now. I mean, we have a lot of guys on the IL. We have a lot of guys that are injured. And the bottom line is what matters is how the guys that are on the field and that are in the lineup performing. I mean, Salazar has not gotten any at bats. I'm kind of surprised at that. Look, I trust this team. I think going forward, you're going to see some good things. I think what Isaac Paredes did today and what we see the team doing overall offensively, getting more hits, is going to continue to trend upward. But the pitchers are going to have to stay healthy.
Quick question, Brett, before we talk about Wisniewski. Who do you see Salazar getting at bats over right now?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we know he hits the heck out of the ball. So I don't know.
Why? I would think maybe even Dubon, but you have certain guys playing the DH position, and that's pretty much where, because right now you're not taking Caratini out of the lineup the way he's hitting. You're not taking Diaz, even though, but he has the best batting average runners in scoring position. So there's not many positions you can put Salazar. So I think that's the issue, is his position and the fact that there are other options. So I think he'll get his playing time. I thought this would be a game where he would, because of the early start time, but Espada decided not to do that. But I hear what you're saying, and it's kind of surprising he hasn't gotten any, especially late game pinch hits or anything like that. But you saw him out there with the bubble gum after Paredes got that walk-off home run. So he's been a team player, a teammate since he's been on the team. And somebody that was a good teammate so far in his limited exposure to the Astros was Hayden Wisniewski. And unfortunately, we knew something was wrong when we saw him pitch the last couple of games. He just didn't have the same command. He didn't have the same control or just the same look. And I know that when a reliever moves to the rotation, sometimes it's flawless. Sometimes there's issues. And in this case, they said that there was some elbow discomfort. And then we heard what TK said. He said that Wisniewski's out for the season. Then nobody confirmed what TK said. But today it was made official that Wisniewski will undergo Tommy John surgery, and he will have that soon. And that means he's out for the rest of the season and likely most of 2026 as well for recovery, kind of like we've seen with Christian Javier and also Luis Garcia. So this is a big loss for the Astros. So the question is, what happens next, Brett?
Yeah, exactly. And right now, you just gotta fight with the guys that you have in uniform right now. You can't worry about who isn't on the field rather than who is going to be on the field. Whether that's Gordon, whether that's Gusto, whether that's a whole host of guys that can come in and maybe fill those voids. But the bottom line is this offense needs to be more consistent in production. And I know they ran into Jack Leiter, a young, hard-throwing phenom pitcher who has not hit his potential yet. Eovaldi looked excellent on the mound. I mean, the Astros and the Rangers both threw really good pitchers at each other. And the Astros the other day, when they got the first win in the series against the Rangers, they did it when the starter left the game, when DeGrom left the game, and that may be what you have to do. Sometimes that's baseball. So you got to be patient with this team. I think this team does have some potential runs in them when it comes to 3 to 5 game win streaks. They just have to put that offense together consistently from game to game and see if they can go to Tampa in that spring training field. Maybe they'll like the heat and the humidity and make it feel like it's fun out there, fun in the sun. And maybe we'll see some production so they can come home and beat the Seattle Mariners and knock them out of first place.
Well, the Astros have an interesting decision. Monday, it's going to be Colton Gordon. Tuesday, it's TBA. And Wednesday, it's going to be Hunter Brown. They're not moving Hunter Brown up. So there's a situation on Tuesday. Ryan Gusto pitched on Saturday. They're going to probably ask him. I think it was only 1 inning, but they're going to ask him, do you feel good to go maybe 3 to 4 innings on Tuesday? If not, they can possibly bring up AJ Blueball or somebody like that. So the Astros have an interesting decision over the next 48 hours to decide what to do. But whatever happens, the Astros are short a starting pitcher right now, and that's why you can never have enough starting pitching, especially veterans guys. So, guys, that's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. Thank you for making us your first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, go and check us out. My name is Eric Huysman. He's Brett Chancey, and we will see you tomorrow.
Go Astros.